Welcome. It's a quick update about our progress as a startup founder, as a SaaS founder, AI SaaS founder, and it's been week 11 since I started working on this project. After realizing that there's a huge potential, because I was getting a lot of um, requests in building one. Give me a second. Okay. As I was getting a lot of requests building one. So after talking to my partner, uh, she said that why not just build it? So we started building it in early September, and what we build was this Ava. Ava is an artificial virtual assistant for your business. It's supposed to. The idea is it is supposed to do everything your virtual assistant does for your business, right? So this is what the UI looked like. It has changed. I'll show you that in a real quick second. So what is Ava? It's an artificial virtual assistant for your business. It is designed to seamlessly integrate with your business tools, taking over most of the tasks that you would hire a virtual assistant for, right? And what does Ava do right now? So it helps you with booking appointments. It integrates with your CRM. It helps you with lead nurturing. Also, it helps you with lead qualification before booking the appointment, right? And here's a demo. If you really want to join the beta program, you can always sign up by clicking here. It's going to take you to a window. Oh, it's not working. It is working. It's just going to take over to you to this window. This Ava is going to qualify you essentially, and or I'd say more than qualifying, it's going to understand your business and your needs, and then going to add you to the list of the beta. But that's not what this video is about. The video is about updates, right? Day number 77, week 11. Well, the update is we applied for Y Combinator about a month ago on 13th of October, right? And here it is. We applied. Okay, it doesn't say when we applied. Anyways, we applied and we got a rejection letter today, or let's say email today. Unfortunately, they cannot give any feedback as well, and they have a lot of people in. It's more difficult to get in Y Combinator than it is to get into Harvard and all these big colleges. I believe it's like 1.5% acceptance rate. So didn't have a lot of hopes, I would say, but at the same time there's a lot of competition going on in this market. I just realized, not just realized, but I realized after applying for this last month. One of them was Artisan. So this got accepted into Y Combinator, and this is literally what we are trying to do, right? Look at this. Oh, wait a second. Rather than going here, it's like Ava, right? Artisans coming soon. Ava. Literally, they named their sales rep Ava as well. Supercharge your outbound leads at scale and whatnot. And they got accepted recently into Y Combinator. I just saw the link. I got to know about them by a YouTube video. After applying for YC, YouTube started sending me all the other applications that are doing the same. And yeah, then I saw, let's see, where did I see it? I think I have a screenshot here. I've saved it. Oh, there it is. Y Combinator. YCAI has raised 23 million pre-seed round, creating human-like digital assistant. Damn. Well, I must feel bad that I didn't get into YC, or our team didn't get into YC. But this also gives a sense of validation towards the idea, because to be honest, we don't have a lot of funding. In fact, we are bootstrapping the whole development process. I'm the primary developer on the team, and my partner Fina, she is the primary outreach to get clients on board. Currently, we have about 6 businesses on Ava, and we are yet in pre-beta stage. That is, we haven't even implemented payments on our gateway, right? So it felt bad when I didn't get. I saw the email early in the morning that we didn't get in, but it is life. Didn't have a lot of expectations to do it, but applying for YC definitely made me push myself a lot more, because I knew that it's a competitive field in terms of getting into YC, or in general anything related to AI these days. It forced me to build this website, start this beta program, and keep pushing towards the main product, which brings me to Ava, right? Let's see, app.zephyflow.com. Well, you can sign up right here. So this is how you access Ava. Log into the app and you create a hub. A hub is where all your Avas exists, where all your contacts will be synced from your CRM, and where you would connect your phone number and everything. Right now, that feature is not implemented. All of our clients are on API access only. That's why we are yet in pre-beta. But anyway, so once you click on it, you can create an Ava right here. It's pretty straightforward. You just name it and script. I cannot even description. You click on create assistant, and there it is. Your assistant is ready. You can change the image. Maybe I'll add some kind of an image generation over there. Name, description, you can change it. You can add knowledge to the knowledge base, including text and stuff. You can enable capabilities like lead qualification, appointment booking, and configure them right here. Like you can just add some lead qualification questions, or you can add appointment booking stuff here, right? And then you can just try it out. You make changes here, you try on this side, right? Or if you don't want to see the settings, just turn it off. So this is the whole software. You can add members to the group, and every member in this group has a role. That's going to be admin, editor, or viewer. The one who creates the hub is the owner and is entitled to pay for Avas. So any Avas under this hub is billed to the owner of the hub, that you can see in the settings. The owner is this email ID. So this person is responsible for paying. If you want to transfer the hub ownership, you'll have to contact me or the team. And billing happens on access account level. That is, every account has its own billing, right? If you're signed up, you'll add a card over there, right? So that's the product essentially. The way you connect this right now is via primarily APIs that are on chat dot slash. All the APIs are right here. You usually have a conversation with Ava via these APIs. And API has been improved every other day. We are literally pushing new updates onto the main repository, code repository every week. Okay, so again, this is not the update either. So this is what we've been working on to build. We have about 7 paying clients and more interested in joining. Is just there's a lot to be covered, and getting through YC could have helped in hiring a few more people, few more high-skilled developers to get this thing through. But anyways, I believe that I'm decently capable, and we can make it happen. All right. So that was update 1. All right. Update 2. Update 2 is start a pivot. I was kind of hoping we get some kind of a funding so that we can develop our softwares better and just provide a better value to the clients. But after seeing OpenAI's Dev Day, where they released a bunch of things, out of which it was an OpenAI Assistant API, is essentially what we've built in the backend for our. The difference is that they are $1 billion company and we are, I don't know how many, we didn't do the valuation, right? But we are a small team, and I believe they can do a better job than we can, right? So, and since they didn't have an option before, we built it our own. But I think it's time to pivot on this side to keep our startup lean, focus on the front end, focus on the customer experience, focus on integration with the tools rather than maintaining the whole assistant API pipeline in the backend. So the update is that we will be moving away from it, right? That is the implementation that we have done. We are moving away from it, and I want to explore OpenAI's assistant. So that finishes our update part. But today's agenda is to try out OpenAI Assistant API before transferring the main code base, right? Because as I said, we have about 6 paying clients at this moment, and it's just not a good idea to just transfer, right? The backend is working, all right? Not gonna lie, it's working. It is a little slow, but it works. But constantly maintaining it and worrying about it is something that I don't want to do right now. And in the lieu of keeping the startup lean, this is what we will be doing. Trying to see if we can use OpenAI's API assistant rather than maintaining the whole thing by ourselves. That reduces the load on the team in development. And since we know OpenAI is moving really quickly and fast, it makes sense to do what they are. Let them do what they do the best, and then utilize their APIs and integrate it with your product, right? So that's what today's agenda is. We are going to build, or we are going to try out an OpenAI Assistant API today. Right. Before this video started, I think last night, I was going around YouTube and I found something. It was an interesting tutorial, and it's by this guy. I cannot pronounce his name, but he provides good value. I can say that much, because whatever he says, I can say it is not just fluff, because I as a developer have done things like that, or I understand because he talks like a developer, all right? Because he is a dev. So he created this video, create a Swarm agents with OpenAI Assistants API, right? Swarm agents is not what we want to do, but it's a really popular thing, and I believe AGI is also going to be based on swarms. But yet, I digress. So what he shares in the video is that, why not I just play this real quick?
I have successfully recreated AutoGen from scratch with the new OpenAI Assistants API.
Well, from scratch is a stretch, right? Because AutoGen is built on Python, which is built by it's a project by Microsoft, and saying that you successfully build AutoGen from scratch using Assistants API is essentially saying that, hey, I built this table by assembling it, right? That would be a better analogy, because you didn't build it, you just used 2 things and then brought it together. Well, I guess it could be called as building, but again, I digress.
Their famous example featuring a chart of YTD, Meta, and Tesla stock prices that was made by my system, consisting of just 2 agents, a coding assistant and a user proxy agent.
So the idea is there are 2 agents, coding assistant and proxy agent, that is going to be you as a replacement as an agent. So you are only bothered when you need to, right? That's how AutoGen works, but this guy has implemented with some help of some libraries and stuff to get it there.
The best part is that this system is much more controllable and customizable, which means unlike AutoGen, it is actually deployable in production. I will show you exactly how you can add more agents to the system at the end of this video, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Let's get started.
All right, so I won't play the video, but I have cloned what he shared right here. Collab research. It's a Google Colab place where you can code and try it out, right? So I think it's right here. Copy of AIO Assistant Collab. So this is the code by this guy. Wait a second, what's his name again?
I have successfully recreated AutoGen from scratch with the new OpenAI Assistants API. Here is their famous example featuring a chart of white.
Oh, by the way, if you guys didn't realize, this is completely unscripted. I just had like a quick agenda so that I stay on track in the early side, but right now I'm building or trying out an OpenAI assistant, so it's going to be a lot of mess. So, I mean, I'm just doing it because I'm already doing this, so why not just record it while doing it, right? Right, let's see. What is this guy? What's this guy about? What's his name? Damn, you looking mean there. The hell? Okay, I have no idea what his name is. Oh, he's from Georgia? And any which way, so let's forget about that. What's his name? He's a dude on YouTube who's smart. How about that? All right, let's see. So you first install all these libraries. You know what? Let me just change it because I'm going to be changing a lot in this code because he had only imported these, but I was getting errors, so I had to import the rest of them. So let's just call it AVA test dot. Actually, I'll just call it AVA test. Cool. So we install all these libraries. We're running that. Alrighty, cool. That is already satisfied, as you can see. Then I will import. Note, what I'm doing is this code is essentially taking OpenAI key from the new feature that Colab added, is that secrets. So you can just add this name here and add your OpenAI key out here and give an access to the notebook. That way you have this key available here, so you don't have to like put it again and again, or you don't have to literally paste it. So that I don't want to show it on the YouTube because I sometimes use that key all the time. It's better to not. Okay, so that's in. Again, this is just a helper function, so no need to worry about it, just a print function. All right, here's the main juice of it, right? This function is used to get completion from a given thread. So if you are aware of OpenAI's API, it's basically getting completion. Before it was like that, but right now, since it's assistance, they've moved it to the threads. So this guy tried to keep it simple. He is trying to keep it as completions because you don't need to worry about checking the threads if it's executed or not. So you're just running it and waiting until it is done, or until it needs your response, right? So this code is essentially what it does. It creates a message in the thread. It runs the thread, right? It takes in agent, functions, and the thread ID, I believe. Yeah, it takes a thread ID. And then the message that it's passed, right? So creating a message out of the user message that was sent through the app, run this thread, and then here's a loop that runs until the status is changed to queued or in progress, until it is in there. Once it gets out of queued or in progress, we get out and we see like what is the status, right? So if the status says it requires action, then you check what kind of action is required, right? So tool calls run acquired action, submit tool outputs, tool calls, right? So this was going to give you all the tool calls. That is what all tools OpenAI asked you to run, right? And you go through it, and then you run all these tools one by one as far as I am understanding. Yeah, there you go. You run it, create output is equal to this, tool outputs append, and then tool call ID, and then the output of that tool. And then you submit tool outputs. But you submit the tool output after, submit the tool output once you're out of, by the time you're out of this if statement. So all this for loop is done, and then you're submitting the tool outputs, all right? And then if the action is not required, you go return status failed, raise exception, return failed error, return assistant message. Oh, well, if it is failed, that means just like, okay, your thread failed basically, or the execution failed. Else, you just get all your messages, right? And then you get the last message, I believe, context 0, text value, and return the message. I believe it's like a stack, the thread. It's like all the messages goes down. The top message is the one that is the most responsible, the most recent one, probably generated by AI. If it didn't, if we are not hitting this case, then we are coming here. That means it is generated by AI. I think that's the guarantee the API package gives, I believe. Again, these are all hypotheses. I haven't even looked at the API properly yet. I have kept it open out here, but I haven't looked at it yet. Anyway, so again, keeping on. So this is your get response. In other words, you have all the functions that you pass through it. You have agents you are passing to it. Oh no, just an agent you're passing to. The message you want to send to the agent, and then the thread ID. That on thread ID is essentially the whole chat history, right? All right, cool. So he created a code assistant. He's importing these things. Instructor is another interesting library. If you want to use pydantic models, in other words, just to if you're a developer, you might have noticed that the format in which you are sending the function information is kind of weird and difficult to replicate or maintain. It's not Pythonic, in other words. It's more like just a JSON, right? So instructor uses pydantic methods, and it has created an OpenAI schema for that. So. All right. Looks like this is where. Okay, let me just see real quick. Okay, yes. This looks like these are the functions that would be passed, right? So it's like execute Python file, run executing file Python file from a local disk. Field name is file name. So is field path to the py file to be executed. Run is when you run the function, executes the function Python script to given file path, and captures its outputs and errors. Result is subprocess run. Okay, so whenever this function is called, creates a subprocess and it runs a subprocess with the Python 3 and the file name. It's a Python file, so the file name, text is equals to true, capture output true, check true. All right, so what it's doing, it's running the file, and then it's saying it's a text output, capture whatever the output is, and then send it back in the result. And then you're sending result.std out. That is the standard output that you get in the terminal. All right, so that's that. And if there's any error in the subprocess, you just return that. And again, for file, Python file with an appropriate name containing code that can be saved and executed locally at a later time. This environment has access to all the standard Python packages and the internet. Okay. Oh, so this does not, again, it's not like an AutoGen. What AutoGen allows you to do is even run scripts on the terminal. This is more, in this example, you cannot do that. Only Python files are allowed, I believe. Then he's defining 3 different parameters. One is chain of thought, think step by step to determine the correct action. File name of the file, including the extension. That would be .py file, I believe. And correct contents of a file. Cool. Makes sense. To run that, you open the file, and then you f.write. Okay. So it's essentially creating the file, right? Self.filename. Where is the file name coming from? Self.filename. Oh, it's right here. My bad. Name of the file to be executed. So again, since this is a parameter that OpenAI will send, you will know what the file name is. All right. Now, what is next here? Ouchie, this is stupid. Well, let me just write it down. You know what? I'll let it be the key. I'll let that key be. I'll revoke it from OpenAI later. Right, I'll just write a note down here for me to revoke the API key. Revoke the all right, revoked, I guess, before I upload the video. All right, code assistant, OpenAI code functions. So code assistant functions are defined, as we said. Looks like the code. Looks like the function for the code assistant, and then you define the code assistant. So this is how you define code assistant or any assistant in OpenAI's platform. Yeah, it's like assistant is equal to client beta assistant create. Client beta assistant create. Name is code assistant agent. Instruction is a top tier programming AI. You are apt to creating accurate Python script. This will properly name files and craft precision Python code with accurate. Okay, this everything, these things are definitely prompt engineered. So we'll have to play with it in when we apply it for ourselves. Tools, let's see. So this is how he's defining the tools. Type is function, function is file, OpenAI key. Oh, that's how it works. I see. So this is nice. This is really nice. If you look at the tools, tools are type function, and then the function is given over here. Let's look at functions, how it looks like in real, without the library. Functions, fine tuning now. API reference. Functions were given. Oh, there it is. Function calling. All right. So how does a function look like? Introduction. Showing GPT parallel function. Example invoking. Okay. Alrighty. All right. So this is what it looks like. The function. Right. It's like function, type function, and then function, and then all these names and stuff. So this part is taken care of by, I believe, the instructor library. Because you see, it's just type function, and then says function file OpenAI schema, and that's a function that is defined by the schema, and then dot OpenAI schema, I believe, is a data class that is actually processing this and generating the JSON for the function. As you can see, type functions. And here the function is this huge chunk over here. All right, I believe the library is pretty powerful, man. I mean, there was another library that did this, which I have used before. It's called Simple AI Chat. They also do something like that. Let's see. Tools. Yeah, chat. Pydantic base model fields. Let's keep going. Where did it go? Okay, I need to slow down. Building AI based apps. Functions. Okay, there it is. But function calling is different. Yeah, this is function calling. Cool. So you basically define the function with the base model, right? And then you send it as an output schema. This thing converts everything before sending it to OpenAI. But it is really integrated with the library. I like the fact that what this guy has used is not that integrated into the library, so it's more flexible to use. So since I've used Simple AI Chat before into the current solution that we have for Ava, I'll have to rewrite everything, because since this library seems to be a little more powerful in terms of generating tools and stuff, whereas I was using Simple AI Chat's features. Maybe I wrote over the Simple AI Chat to make it work with mine. All right. Okay, coming back, user proxy. Now, up until now here, we were looking at the code assistant. The next is user proxy. This agent facilitates the conversation between the user and the other agents, ensuring successful completion of task. Correct. So it's just, I can call it a middleman, right? This is the thing that's talking to you. This agent facilitates the conversation between the user and the other agents, ensuring successful completion of task. All right, so import subprocess, enum, Pydantic, blah, 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 blah. Agents in the thread, agents and threads. Okay. Okay. So they've given functions here. Where is this code assistant function coming from? Okay, it's coming from there. And then code assistant thread is none, function is this. Okay, so no thread has been defined in this case. Agents and threads. Cool. Send message. OpenAI schema. Send message to another specified agent, specialized agent in this group. Install and restart, it's fine. I'll take a quick break. All right, I'm back. Well, let's see. So add message is the send message is another function. Send message to the other specialized agent in the group chat. Recipient, literal, code assistant, field, message, define run. All right. This is a little, I don't understand what's happening here. Literal description, code assistant is a word. World-class programming AI capable of executing Python code. Literal, what does this mean in typing? I've never seen this before. Well, let's go to ChatGPT. What does literal mean? What am I typing? So the notion of representing a fixed value in a source code. Literal is directly written in the code and represents values in their most obvious forms. They are the common types of literals in Python. Literals, integer floats, complex numbers, string literals, a sequence of characters surrounded by quotes. Python supports both this and this. Boolean literal, 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 literal. Alright, so it's kind of like an enum, if I understand correctly. I guess. It's like an enum. Let's assume that's an enum. Recipient, that means when you send the message, who the message is for and what is the message. And then you run recipient, agent. Oh, I get it. So your literal is code assistant, and when you're running it, whenever the recipient comes in, whenever you run this function, the recipient, agents in the thread, you send self.recipient. Okay. All right, self.recipient, and whatever the recipient is coming from OpenAI again. Got it. This is genius. This is a very nice way to do it. I like it. If there's no thread between user proxy and this agent, create one. Okay. So this conversation needs to be threaded. Create one. If not, recipient thread is equals to this message get completion. So this is where they're using the function again that was defined early over here. And then message. Alrighty. And now user proxy tool is the conversation itself, right? That is send message. That is this boy. So user proxy, here is the main magic, I believe, the prompt engineering that's been done here. All right. So user proxy, client, beta assistant create, user proxy agent. What just happened? Okay, triple quotes. As a user proxy agent, your responsibility is to streamline the dialogue between the user and specialized agent within the chat group. Your duty is to articulate user requests accurately to the relevant agent and maintain ongoing communication with them to guarantee the user's task is carried out to completion. Please do not respond to the user until the task is complete. The error has been reported. An error has been reported by the relevant agent, or you have certain type of response. All right. Model is given this, and the function is given as this boy. Cool. So as I understand, this is how it looks like. Somewhat similar to, hey, come on, let me scroll here. What's up? Let's just use a new chart, blank document. Right, let's just draw. Right, so the way I think it is, this is gonna be the user. What? Come on, bro. Oh, where the tool at? Alright, let me just get it up this boy. Alright. There it is. Alright, so what it is that you as a user is right here. You are talking to the user agent, and the user agent is talking to code assistant, and this is to and fro. Wow, I'm so bad with mouse drawing, but I think this is what's happening. So user proxy agent is talking to a code assistant. Wow, I'm so good with this shit. All right, so that's what is happening. Cool stuff. And then AutoGen example questions. Cool. So let's just run this. So we ran that. We run this. OpenAI function, user proxy, an example. So this is where you're running. It says user message. It's taking an input, and then it's getting the message, and it's printing the message with the proxy name. And it keeps on going until you stop it, I guess. So run. Let's see, what is today's date? Well, the function is supposed to be this recipient time assistant message. What is today's date? Name is send message. Message error, validation recipient, no time assistant available. Yeah, because the assistant name is not time, it is code assistant, right? It should be code assistant. So this error was sent back to OpenAI. There was an error that was shown here, and then it says function argument recipient code assistant message, provide the current date. Please provide the current date, and then send the message. Okay. This time it seems like it has done a good job. Like it called a function recipient code assistant message, please provide with the current date. Schema is send message. Right, this is gonna be right here, right? Recipient message, recipient and message. Schema is send message, right? Recipient message, schema is send message. That's the name of the function, right? So that's cool. Then after that, this was the thing. Then there's another function called function argument chain of thought to provide the current date with Python's built-in datetime module to get the current date. The datetime function will return the current local date. File name is given get current date, body from date import. All right, cool. So seems like the second function that was called was named file. The file was created essentially, I believe, and the recipient is code assistant, message is please provide. All right, so recipient name is code assistant. So let's see how it's going, right? User proxy has only one function, that is send message. The send message was called right here, right? And once that send message was called, what that send message does is it takes the send message function that was defined here and it defines the recipient. So it's code assistant message, specifies the message of the task that has to be done. So that's again generated by OpenAI. In this case, the message is, let's see, function, today's date time function will return the current local date. Okay, so difficult to read. I wish there was, you know what? Let's just print two lines here. All right, let me just stop this. Come on, see, I'll just stop it and then run this again. And then let's ask this because it's getting difficult to read to me. I like to create spaces in between so I understand what's happening. So what is today's date is sent. Why is the message not creating a new line? That's weird. Oh well. Function recipient code assistant, please provide the current date in this much format. Okay, so coming back to it, it's a little easy to read. New lines didn't come through because apparently, oh, it's my bad. Get completion is where all these runs are happening, right? Because we saw the slash and happening right here. First of all, the slashes was on the wrong direction, right? Yeah, the printing is happening in get completion. So when we are printing, I think I should add it there. But let's not waste too much time on this. This is just an example for us to understand what's happening, especially for me to understand what's happening. So let's see, function argument is here, function argument is here, send the date provided, earliest is already in this format if you require. Okay, so the function is recipient. So this is the function argument coming as recipient, code assistant, message is please provide the current date and current date in this time format. All right, and then send message, the date provided earlier is already in so and so format. This is this. If you require any of the other first for the assistant. Cool. Apparently all the functions had already been built. I shouldn't have run that again. But I get an understanding of what's happening. So all these loops are running inside of get completion, right? And we get a final message at the end that is by user proxy agent. And it says today's date is so-and-so. Okay. And that is that gives us all of our information right here. And then you can ask more questions. This is another one of the examples. The first one was super simple. The second one is where it's going to get the year-to-date gain. All right, so here it goes. Function calls a recipient code assistant and asks for what is the current price for Meta. It's taking a little longer than I was hoping, but I guess it's taking some time to do its own shiz. Then another function was called chain of thought is given as to obtain the current price of Meta, Facebook, parent company, blah, blah, blah. We need financial data. Then we'll also need to install the libraries if they are not currently installed. File name is get meta stock by price. Body is, body is the whole code that is put inside the file. Then file is returned to get meta stock. All right. Then the function argument is get meta stock, execute file. This executes the file, you get current price by executing, the message is sent, and then another function is get current price of Tesla. Chain of thought is create a script that fetches the current price of Tesla, and then it created the script, execute Python file, send message, the current price of Tesla is XYZ, created the code, I believe this is the whole code over here, written file, execute the file, okay, get Meta's closing price previous year. So what it's doing is it's divided the task into multiple steps, right? One is getting Tesla's price today, getting Facebook's price tomorrow, sorry, getting Meta getting Tesla and Facebook's price today, and then from year to date another function is being written. As you can see, execute file, the closing price is this, message blah blah blah, and then seems like code assistant is creating calculate the percentage year gain of Meta and Tesla to date. It's right here. So the recipient code assistant message is calculate the percent of Meta and Tesla using the year start prices and the end price right here. So that's a function argument, and then the file is returned to calculate Tesla percentage gain, calculate Tesla percentage gain for Meta is this and for Tesla is this. Well, this is a complicated problem to solve. It's doing a real good job here, to be honest. I wonder how much of the OpenAI key it's using. Sorry, OpenAI's token it is using to do all these things. And interestingly, user agent year-to-date percentage gain, blah blah blah. Man, I don't have a way to try this out, to measure this out. Maybe let's do this. Year to gain Meta. Let's just Google this. Year-to-date gain Meta. Year-to-date gain percentage gains for Meta. Year to date, bro. YTD 168. Whoa, I don't know Meta went up this much. Interesting. What is our AI saying here? Not 168, 178.41. What did it do? Did it take 1 year? Anyways, this may not be accurate, or it may be what the data source is, from what date it took. This is not the primary goal of this video anyways, right? We're trying to understand how this guy implemented it, which is pretty cool, having the agents do their thing. Plot a chart of there. Just for the sake of it, let's just finish the whole demo, right? Also, now you have to wonder how we're going to be building this, right? So coming back to the beautiful blackboard, we just sit down. It's starting for a while. All right, buddy, it's fine. Okay, so right now the way it works is the message comes in. Let's just draw, because I'm a perfect person to draw, right? All right, so the message comes in from the user, say for example, and it goes to Ava. Right now, Ava has different capabilities. So the way I've implemented this is like, hey, what are the capabilities that you have to figure about, right? So if we go back to the app, app.zephyrflow.com, you can see right here there are capabilities: lead qualification, appointment booking, and knowledge base access, right? So what we are doing here is that once your message comes in, okay, I wish I knew better about this tool. I think I'll get better over time, I guess. So just get rid of all those things. How to increase the size? Object eraser. Oh, that's much better. All right. So once Ava comes in, come on, buddy, pen. Yeah. So once you get a message to Ava, it queries OpenAI. It queries OpenAI with asking, given the context, which capability shall I be using of mine, right? So what should I use? Respond with number only. So what I do is in the backend code base, we just open it up. What was I showing you guys? Yeah. So in Ava, whenever the response is to be created, that is respond function is where the response comes in, right? It selects Ava task. This function is basically what is looking for the capability to select, right? As you can see over here, okay, it's good we don't have any code in here. Select Ava task. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Select Ava task. From the list of the tasks below, reply only with the number of the appropriate tasks. If no task is appropriate, please reply with and 0. All right, so this is how it selects a task, which capability to use over here in lead qualification, right? So once it does that, OpenAI literally sends us the number of capability, right? So what number we are using. Then we use our system. Wow. We use a system prompt and then we append the capability on top of it. Let's assume the capability is lead qualification, right? So for that, we will append at this time. I should not even try it, right? Yeah. So we just append lead qualification prompt, right? So that way we get a new prompt that is that basically primes the system like, hey, you're doing lead qualification. Here are the questions for lead qualification. Ask step by step based on the conversation in hand, and the whole message is given. So that's what we are doing in the backend. So let's just assume that this is how we want to go for our new implementation as well, like in here. Oh, year to date is calculated. All right, pretty cool. Look at that. Saves a bunch of time, man. This shit crazy. All right, so that's what we should implement for the trial, right? On how to select what. Because in the end, when it comes to capability, what it's supposed to do is whenever the message comes in to Ava, Ava shall know what capabilities or what task it is performing, right? If it is performing lead qualification, then it should use lead qualification quotients. And I don't want to like the idea of Ava is to have multiple capabilities in near future. And if I add all of them to the system prompt, it will first of all not be really accurate, and even if it is accurate, it's going to cost a lot to the end customers, which we don't want. We want to keep the cost as low as possible, right? So this is one of the ways I discovered to keep the cost low, where the number of tokens are on the low side. Another one was where the conversation was summarized rather than the whole conversation sent to the end user. So, but that's for another day. Today we want to try out how OpenAI's API will do the job. So in this example, we did see that this basically works really well. This whole implementation of that dude. So I was thinking about making some changes to this one in accordance with hey. Okay, something's breaking right now, or the PC's getting slow. So now, as we discussed, the message comes in Ava, then Ava decides, Ava asks OpenAI, what capabilities shall I use, and respond with the number only. So we'll have to create an agent, a user proxy agent, that first asks what kind of or a user proxy agent, rather than having this to and fro, which reduces the speed. So one of the issue with this implementation is that to get to one answer, Ava goes and asks like, okay, give me the number of what kind of capability you think we shall use, and then it gives the number, and then the system is added to it. Okay, and then after that, once this is done, then it asks for more stuff. Like for example, once the prompt is created, it's going to send it to, again, OpenAI right here, and then it's going to respond back right here, right? And this is once the response seems like to be the valid one, which we can think about the checking later, which could cost us one more call. Until that happens, the button, man. Until that happens, until the system has been sent the response, this is essentially call one, first call, then this goes here, this is the second call, right? And then check is going to be a third call, and then it goes to the end user. So there are 3 calls to be made to OpenAI before the message is processed and sent to the user. This seems like it might be okay, but in my experience, once you're scaling the software, this slows things down a lot. So first of all, this leads to a lot of API calls, and there is a limit to the API calls, or you can say tokens. I think it was tokens. But more importantly is the time it takes. So it's coming to my server, and then the request has been processed and sending back to OpenAI, processing, coming back, and having these 3 things happening 3 times it costs. And then the request usually takes about 3 to 4 seconds to be processed, which we want to eliminate, right? That's one thing it will be nice to eliminate. If that's not what we do, then at least we get all this logic that we've implemented in the back end off to OpenAI, because they are doing a great stuff, and I don't think they're going to stop. So the best pivot for this startup is to utilize, or basically use the power that, or the capabilities OpenAI is giving us, and then integrate it with your product, and then provide value to the customer where you can bring the change. Right now, for the good or the worse, OpenAI is leading this, and you could either be like in the dismay that, hey, let's not use it, build your own shit, because I don't want to be reliant on one company. Or other one could be use them because they are releasing real good stuff, and then just move on back to where you can provide the value, that is integrating with the clients, making sure AVAs are working properly, making sure that that it's fine-tuned to give them the best service possible, in terms of the response, the type of response they want, or the types of features they want, which maybe it's not in OpenAI's domain or interest to do it. Like for example, could be, for one of the business, it could be listening, converting the calls recording to text, and then taking that text and transcribing it, and summarizing it, and then adding it to the dashboard where the client or the supervisor can just read through it rather than going through the whole call to understand what happened in the call, right? Features like those inside the CRM itself will help the client save time and streamline his process, and that's what the goal of this startup is. Anyways, I digressed again. Okay, so coming back to the whole thing. So what's the idea? What are we trying to do? So this is the current implementation. There are 3 steps in every call. There could be up to 5 based on the complicated capabilities. But right now there are 3 calls that goes through. All right, which we want to get rid of. So let's just define something right here. All right. Let's zoom in. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. All right, I'm not really great with this tool, it seems like, huh? Okay, so delete, delete, delete. So the goal is simple. The user sends a message, right? Sends a message to Ava. This is going to be equivalent to the user proxy agent. User proxy agent. This user proxy agent will have tools and other AVAs associated with it, right? So what this is going to look like is AVA with a user proxy, and then this will have appointment setter, say for example. Appointment setter, and then and Ava will also have another capability that is lead qualification, right? And then this agent is going to talk to this boy, and this agent is going to talk to this one, right? And then Ava is the one that's going to talk to the end user in the end, right? And maybe this is going to take a lot more to and fro from OpenAI, but in my opinion, everything's happening on their server, and they are optimizing like shit for their thing. And a small team of ours cannot compete with them at this time, so it's better to just use what they are doing. So this is going to be a basic idea of how I want to implement this example that we saw here into this one. Oh my god, why do I click again and again on it? Oh, there it is. Zoom out, zoom out. Okay, I'll get better with this tool, I promise. Right, so message comes in, Ava will be the user equivalent to the user proxy, right? And the rest of them are, these two are somewhat like code assistant. Right, and they both will have their own capabilities, right? Their own tools and stuff. So what I'll do is I will pause it right here. We understood the main agenda was to understand and explore OpenAI assistants, and to see what was the downside of our current application, and basically using this code base to kind of have a plan of how we're going to execute. So what I'll do is I'll pause right now, and I'll come back in some time. I'll make changes to the code, and then once it is running, I'll get back on the call, on the video, and then I will resume it. Right, so we are back. I implemented what was supposed to. It is working fine. So the implementation, I tried working here in the collab. For some reason, I was getting this errors, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it on my local machine via coding, because I'm anyways not a fan of collab. So I'll show you what I did. All the imports, forget about it, right? Loaded the environments, just printed OpenAI version just to make sure, because I had some dependencies issues going on, and I realized the OpenAI version 0.38 was being used, and I'm like, what? Pip env was goofing, right? The same old w print function, get completion is also the same, didn't make change to that. Commented out code assistant and created a lead qualifier. So lead qualifying agent, you are a qualifying agent based on the following criteria. Let Ava know what is the next qualifying question to ask the user, right? So you're like, are you the homeowner? Acceptable. So this is qualifying for solar. All right, so there's a test one. Later we can just replace this based on the account we have. So right now it's just like all hard coded. So the qualification is, are you the homeowner? Acceptable answer is yes. How old is your roof? Acceptable answer is less than 15 years old, and so on and so forth. You can just pause and check it out. All right, I made this agent for lead qualification, made appointment booking agent. As you remember, we had this, I mean, you have a better memory than me right now, because it's been a couple of hours. It's the next day. Okay, it's opening up. You remember our idea was to do this. Have Ava, which is equivalent to user assistant. Then have lead qualification, the conversation back and forth, and have appointment setter have conversation back and forth. And Ava is the one who, in the end, talks to the user, right? So to maintain that flow, we have another thing, booking appointment, right? It takes in phone number, email, start, blah blah blah. This is a tool for appointment setter. The same goes for appointment booking slot. It is currently just filled with placed value. You can, once I integrate into the main app, all these things will be pulled from the actual calendar, or will be set on the actual calendar, right? Over here, once you run it with all these things, just like shows you the date and things parsed, and then says appointment book carefully. And over here, when you run it, it also prints all the parameter of the function, and then says, yeah, the appointment slots today, tomorrow, and whatnot. So it gives this, right? So these are the tools, or called functions. And then the appointment setter is something like this. You're an appointment setter bot. You're responsible for booking appointments for Ava. You need to retrieve appointment slots and book appointments for Ava. Cool. This is how I define the tools in it. These are all OpenAI defined classes. What else? Then defining agents. So there are two agents right here, right? Lead qualifier and appointment setter, just like we have it in this lead appointment setter and lead qualifier, correct? Get away. And then we have send message. Send message is the same as the previous one. I just made changes to the recipient. So recipient, rather than being the coder, it is lead qualifier and appointment setter. And that has, you have the following agents that may be helpful. Lead qualifier is a world-class qualifier who qualifies the user for the service provided by the business. Appointment setter, it is a world-class appointment setter who helps booking appointments. Message, specify the task required. So whenever it's sending the message to the recipient, it's going to tell what it exactly needs, correct? Then you run, and then when you run this, we have message from get chat completion, and it's the same thing as it was before. All right, and Ava tools are send message, and then you define this assistant, right? Description, your Ava, your job is to support for client. You are a solar energy assistant working with the lovely solar queen Fina, Eka Fina. She's my partner in business, and we've built this bot before for the business to do the lead qualification and appointment booking. So I just took the same information from there just as a demo. The main thing here is that the main things that change here is from this point onwards. It's important you have to play around with this. Depends from use case to use case, but in our use case, it is your duty is to articulate the user message accurately and use various capabilities I possess. I possess. Oh, initially I was writing it in terms of like I am Ava. Capabilities you possess. Well, it was yet working, so along with the help of other agents to provide the best possible response to the user. All right. Now, we don't want Ava to say stuff like, hey, the qualifying agent said you do not qualify, right? We want to define that Ava is the primary contact person, right? It's like Ava has its own team at the back end, but Ava does not tell the front end user that hey, I have a team at the back end. The team helps Ava. Ava takes that information and then helps the user in front. That is way more natural and conversational, right? So for that reason, I added some instruction like the user is not aware of special agents and only communicates with you. You are an artificial virtual assistant that is responsible for communicating with users and delegating that specialized task and whatnot. You are a generalist, an intermediary communication agent, and with your help, users can communicate with special agents. All right. And then you maintain natural conversation flow with the user. You define model and then the tools that are being used, right? The tools are code interpreter. Oh, yeah, I was playing around with something else as well. So I added this, but it's not necessary. This is the main one. Send messages, OpenAI tool. I'm wrapping things in this way because it was working, but for some reason, this is a dictionary. Yeah, it is a dictionary with unknown, and I'm basically mapping it out to this definition function. And the dictionary unknown is known for giving values out that is function definition. It is literally working. It's just for some reason the pilot is not properly set up, and I'm just lazy. Threads, and then you start. All right, so let's start the conversation right here. Oh, by the way, you might have noticed that it's the next day. I worked on it last night, and then I like in the evenings I had other work to be taken care of in the business, so I just put a pause on it. On top of it, apparently Sam Altman is fired, and the whole community is going crazy about it. People think that OpenAI is going to go down and stuff, and there's some kind of a controversy going with how Microsoft's events and everything aligned. Well, I don't know, but it's interesting. Right when I'm trying to move everything to OpenAI. Initially it was platform agnostic, but right now the code is going to be more on the OpenAI side. Although I'll try my best to implement the right methods as if ever we have to move to another provider, we can. Like, threads, sure. OpenAI, we are moving to OpenAI to try to use the threads because it's easier to maintain and use the best features OpenAI is releasing. But at the same time, threads not that difficult to implement. We are already doing that right now, right? The reason why I chose this tutorial from this collab was because this guy was using an agentic flow, and I didn't like the way Autogen was using agents. So I tried, it didn't work. So, but after watching his video, I felt like I could do this. So, I'm here. I digress again. Rather than showing you the demo, I went into something else. All right, so you run user like I want solar. So this should directly prompt our Ava to qualify the users, right? Because qualifying is there. So the function is created. There's a function call to lead qualifier messages. The user is interested in solar solutions and would like to explore the option. Please begin the qualifying process to determine the user's needs and eligibility for solar system. Oh, it's taking some time. This usually does not happen. Well, do we need this? Yeah, this is fine. Let's see. Hi, buddy. I'm waiting for you. All right, let's do this again. I want solar. the user is interested in solar, could you please tell me what not? And then traceback call, get completion, function.net stop iteration. What? Did I do something before testing it out again? Booking appointments, is there something sussy going on here? I mean, I don't see me doing anything out of the blue. Well, let's run it again. This does not give me a lot of confidence to move this into production. I mean, this code's not going to move to production, but it's a proof of concept. Is the user interested in solar? I want solar. Let's see. Come on, buddy. You got this. I don't know why it stopped the iteration, but it did. All right. All right, so here you go. Eva says, great to hear that you're interested in solar energy. To assist you better, could you please confirm if you're a homeowner? This information is vital for us to move forward with the qualification process. Cool. Yes, I am. Battery's dying. So I say yes, I am interested. Yes, I am the homeowner. After saying that, it says function argument recipient lead qualifier message. The user has confirmed that they are homeowner. Then the recipient says, great, thank you. The next question I need to ask is, how old is your roof? Now Ava's gonna say, excellent. Knowing that you're a homeowner allows us to proceed. Could you please tell me how old is your roof? I'll say like 15 years. And then, I mean, in other words, this is going really well, right? This is what we wanted. We wanted our conversation to go like this, where Ava is having conversation with lead qualifying agent, and then Ava is talking to you. Like not directly saying lead qualifying agent said something and then that. So this part is working. So is appointment setter. I tried it, and we need to check the condition. No, there are no leaks. And then it's going to go through, send the message. It's going to ask for 650 or higher. That's a good sign. This information helps us determine financial options from solar panels. Yes, I have created above 650. Same thing. So calling the recipient, lead qualifier, sending the message. It says, fantastic, the user meets all the qualified criteria for our solar product and services. The next step would involve discussing their specific needs and the preferences to provide the best solar energy. The function called like message, the user qualifies for our solar products and services has been blah blah blah. Why did it do twice? You successfully qualified for solar. This is fantastic news. The next step would be to discuss blah blah blah. Okay, so it went into qualifying. Oh, I see. Once qualifying, it went into the appointment setting. There it is. Makes sense. So it qualified, and then it told the appointment setter that, hey buddy, user qualifies for our solar products and services and has a credit score of 650. Please proceed with setting up an appointment to discuss their solar energy needs and preferences. And this message is coming from the qualifying appointment setter agent. And once appointment setter agent responds on what it needs, it asks me. It asks me for phone number, email ID, and time zone. And then that information is necessary to do the things. But in our case, we have their phone number and email ID already, and it's parsed into the system, so it already knows what is the user's email ID, right? can provide with, or maybe I can create an agent that uses information from the database or the CRM that the thing is connected to. That'll be nice. So again, coming back to this, Ava, you're successfully qualified, solar, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. Then we can basically proceed with it. So in conclusion, this is literally working like AutoGen, but I like the way it's a little more controlled. And it's producing the outputs the way I like it. And the code is way more cleaner, which is again great. I always hated the way you had to parse the OpenAI functions in dictionary. So yeah, I'll call this a day, or the second day, and we'll see you soon with the next update, right? Well, wish me luck. I will spend some time integrating this into the main system. All right, cool. Peace. Bye bye.